Taking on leftists, one high school at a time. Let's get dialed in. Hello and welcome to Texas Talkin, where we peel back the layers of absurdity and shine a light on the few, the proud, the sane. I'm your host, Shilo Platts, and tonight we're diving headfirst into Turning Point USA. Now, if you haven't heard of this outfit, you might be living in Ukraine, or worse, getting your news from CNN. Actually, I'm not quite sure which is worse. Turning Point USA, or TPUSA, for those who like their acronyms short and sweet, is the brainchild of Charlie Kirk. This guy founded the organization back in 2012 when he was just a young whippersnapper, barely old enough to rent a car. And what's their mission, you ask? Well, it's simple. Save America's youth from the clutches of socialism, safe spaces, and those insufferable gender studies majors who think capitalism is why their venti soy milk latte costs $8. Now, TPUSA has spread like wildfire, folks. They're on over 3,500 high school and college campuses nationwide. That's right. While some organizations are busy debating pronouns, TPUSA is out there reminding students that freedom isn't free and capitalism isn't a dirty word. They've become the dominant force in campus conservatism, much to the chagrin of ivory tower academics everywhere. Now, let's be honest. Turning Point's not exactly subtle. They roll onto campus like a MAGA-themed monster truck rally, setting up tables, hosting speakers, and triggering the perpetually offended so hard you can hear the shrieks from 3 states away. They've got chapters everywhere, hundreds of them, and they're packing events like the Student Action Summit with thousands of fired up kids who actually believe in things like free speech and personal responsibility. Imagine that. It's like finding a unicorn in a sea of participation trophies. And Charlie Kirk? This guy's out front, taking on professors who haven't seen sunlight since the Carter administration. It's glorious chaos. But here's the part that'll make you laugh or cry, depending on your blood pressure. The left? Oh, they hate these guys. Hate them. The media calls TPUSA far-right radicals. Radicals. For what? Loving the Constitution? Wanting lower taxes? Thinking maybe, just maybe, the government shouldn't run your life? The Texas Tribune probably thinks they're a militia because they own pocket copies of the Bill of Rights. And the campus snowflakes? Well, they're out there hugging their emotional support llamas, screaming about hate speech while TPUSA's just over here like, hey, kid, how about a debate instead of a tantrum? It's like watching a toddler lose it because someone took away the crayons, except the crayons are Marxism and the toddler's got tenure. And don't get me started on the sheer audacity of it all. They've got things like the Young Women's Leadership Summit, training ladies to be tougher than the guys whining about toxic masculinity. And they're not afraid to poke the bear, or the whole zoo, actually. You've seen the clips, TPUSA kids asking some purple-haired activists, so how's that free college plan going to work? And the answer is just an empty, blank stare. It's comedy gold, folks. Pure, unscripted, and better than anything on late-night TV, especially these days. So love them or hate them, Turning Point USA is shaking things up. They're the young, brash upstarts in the conservative movement. They're here to remind us that the principles this country was founded on aren't just relics of the past. They're the roadmap to a prosperous future. Joining me next is a Texas high school field representative for TPUSA, and she's here to get us dialed in on their efforts to bring a healthy dose of conservatism into the hallowed halls of public school. Don't go anywhere. And joining me now is A&M graduate Madi Smith from right here in the great state of Texas. Madi is a field representative for high schools for Turning Point USA. Madi, thanks for coming on.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
You bet. So let's ask the fundamental question. How important is it to give conservatism a platform in our high schools? And how is Turning Point USA going about doing that?
It's becoming increasingly more important, in my opinion, as we have seen over the past 4 years. It can be extremely easy to let our rights and our traditional American values just let them slip from beneath us. And, high school age students are the next generation of voters. Some of them are already at voting age, so it is very important to instill these conservative values at their level.
So, what's your strategy for getting high school chapters started? And I guess I should ask, have you been met with any resistance along the way from administration or any type of hostility here in Texas?
Well, starting a chapter is super, super simple. We can do it in under 5 minutes. Turning Point USA only requires 3 students to start a chapter, just a president, vice president, and secretary. That's it. They sign our form. It's a done deal. Of course, each individual high school might have their own individual rules, like having a teacher sponsor, becoming a registered student organization. But for us, it's a very, very simple process. Me personally, being from Southeast Texas, I don't see near as much resistance as reps from other parts of the country. But the main thing is sometimes you'll get admins that are kind of like, I hear the name Turning Point. We don't really want the controversy on our campus, and they kind of shut the door. But I have it fairly easy compared to other blue states, of course.
I can't imagine being a TPUSA representative, field representative in a place like California or Massachusetts. I mean, it's got to be an almost impossible task, but God bless them for doing the good work.
Yes, they do great jobs over there. You'd be surprised.
That's awesome. So, what would you say is the key to getting high school students plugged in, engaged, and interested politically? Do you find that that's a challenge, that younger people just tend to sort of either shut off or maybe be ambivalent toward hot issues?
Honestly, I've been impressed and surprised at how many high school age and college age individuals are wanting to get involved. I think because of this last election cycle and how heated everything seemed to get. Conservatives have really been standing up and haven't been near as afraid as they were in the past to stand up for these values on their campuses. So I've been pleasantly surprised at the willingness of some of these students to want to get involved and show their patriotism on their campuses.
So, on a more fundamental level, let's say you get a chapter started in a high school, a TPUSA chapter. What is the objective? What do they do? What are some of the things that TPUSA engages high school students with? What are some of the things that the high school students do who are members of these organizations?
Well, the whole point is to build up the future leaders of America. That's what Turning Point USA strives to do. And I see our chapters, they host weekly or biweekly meetings where they discuss important political topics, engage in discussions and debates. A lot of them go out into the community and engage in civic engagement, volunteer initiatives, stuff like that. I have a lot of students that like to honor veterans or do meet me at the flagpole event, stuff like that. Just very, very patriotic and important initiatives that these students have been carrying out.
So let me ask you, Madi, what can my viewers do if they want to learn more? Where can they go, number one? And what can they do to help you in your endeavors to get these high school chapters started right here in Texas?
Yeah, well, if you go to tpusa.com/students, you can fill out the get involved form, and
We'll
then a
put that
rep
up
will
on the
reach out.
screen.
Yeah, a rep will reach out to you after filling out that form and help get you involved and walk you through starting a chapter on your high school campus. Of course, anybody that's listening, the best thing that you can do if you're a high school student or if you know a high school student, parent, teacher, staff member, all of the above, connect them with me and I can help get them a chapter started really quickly.
Excellent. Building the next generation of conservative leaders. Madi, I want to thank you
Yes,
for
sir.
taking time to come on tonight. And more importantly, thank you for what you're doing to advance conservatism right here locally in our community.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yes, ma'am. May God bless you and may God continue to bless the great state of Texas. Thank you for helping us keep Texas talking.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Stay dialed in to interviews and content just like this by clicking that follow button on my Facebook page or hit the subscribe button to learn more about exclusive access that you won't want to miss.